Hello everyone and welcome to another video. How is everyone doing and how was your weekend? Well, without any further delay, let's delve into the sauce. My weekend was horrible. I kept losing for no particular reason. Well, to be fair, there were a lot of reasons. Among all those losses, I can say fairly that I lost one game due to my own bad performance, and for the rest, it was very hard to win. I think there are more losses in my match history that I couldn't fit in my thumbnail because it wouldn't be readable if I put all of it in one go, and I still don't know how to. My editing skills are limited, hence I managed to squeeze in only 6 games, and to my surprise, I lost most of them due to my support. I think 3 out of the 6 games were lost simply due to a very bad support player. Based on this experience, I think my gameplay is hugely affected by having a good support player in the mid-game. In this current game, we had a very good support player, and that was Nami. But to my surprise, everyone else was bad. So either you get average players and a bad support on the weekend, or you get a good support and 3 supremely bad players. But it is not all lost. I learned a lot from this experience. First, you can learn from your losses. I did some research, and I found out that on OPGG you can indeed get valuable insight from your last games. And no, this is not a sponsored video. For example, they added a new feature. It is still in beta phase, but based on these 6 games, I think it is very close to describing exactly your own performance in the game. In all these losses, I had an excellent score from the stats, and we will be seeing that in the next game, it means you played as perfect as possible with none to minimal mistakes. I think a roller coaster is an indication of where the game is, even as a team, not as individuals, but as your performance as a team. But you can't truly navigate, because in that game specifically, we had an inting topside. Tryndamere mid was trolling, and since that wasn't enough, our ADC had some brain damage issues, and we lost the game around the late game. We dragged this game until the last minute, and we lost. There is also downhill, which is exactly what happened in this game. I didn't get fed, and the enemy jungler got all the kills in this game and starts butchering everyone like sheeps, to the point that no one could match his opening hand when he jumped in from bushes or out of invisibility. The most important stat is team disparity. This indicates that you did play well, but the team lost the game due to their inferior performance. In other words, team disparity means that you got matched up with players that are way below your skill level, and unfortunately you should have carried the game by yourself. Now, I would be very grateful if they managed to put this in the pre-game load as a prediction or insight that indicates you are currently playing with players that are way below average or something like this. But I was very happy with this new feature. In my opinion, it soothes the sore feeling when you are losing the game because it helps you understand why you lost. Was it because you played badly? Because your team was bad? Or simply because you didn't know how to play the mid-game? So back now to our game to understand how this team disparity affected our performance, because this game was a bid team diff. And let me tell you why. Well, in this game, it was a little bit hard to push whenever we made a meaningful play and got objectives such as Drakes, Scuttlecrabs, and Herald. My team would not push. Our mid laner took Smite. I don't know why it is meta. Maybe some Korean does it. He knows what he's doing with it. He took Smite to do something with it, and only because I was helping him. He stayed viable in the game. On the other hand, our ADC played Corki in melee form, and our top laner was someone that is mentally challenged. I'm sorry to say this, but he didn't even rotate once. He didn't push. He was just peacefully farming the wave, then backing to buy a smaller component. His build was bad. He didn't know what to build. I can't type in chat, so I pinged his items. He didn't get it. The only solution I had was to play my champion with the best possible plays I could pull off at each second. So what ended up happening is that we managed to get all the Drakes, all the Crabs, and 2 Baron buffs. And still, whenever we got something, we couldn't push. And I know for a fact that the team that can't push in the game loses 100%, even if they get the Elder Drake. Now, to be fair, there isn't enough ping in the game. I kept pinging to help me push, but no one was roaming with me. I kept going to the towers, and the enemy team would collapse on me. Where was my team? They were either dead or recalling to buy smaller, useless components. Of course, I didn't let these small events tilt me and sway my vision toward victory. To my luck, there was Nami, the fish, the sashimi of this game. This player also wanted to win this game, so we managed to collaborate and started pushing together toward victory. Sometimes we would get caught, and some of us would divert. Finally, we started contributing towards our common objective, which is to win. And of course, if you notice, I only played with one build. The main reason why is to concentrate on understanding the build and etching its feel into my muscles and memory. If you keep switching up builds, there is a good thing and a bad thing. The good thing is that you develop a sense of versatility and fast decision-making. The bad thing is that you don't develop any hard skills, as if you are a 100% confident individual. After my 4th loss with this build, I started to develop this feeling that gives me confidence that I can take on 1v1 and 1v2, or even 1v3 with this build against any composition, because this build is valuable if you know when to engage. This is the only thing that matters with this build. If you keep your awareness around their cooldowns, CC, and summoner spells, with this build you can do wonders. You are not playing tanky Volibear. You are playing, I don't know what this type of Volibear is called, but it's like the Brazilian dance. With this build, you keep dancing. It is exactly like a Brazilian dance. You keep dancing, moving around, looking at the enemy, and when you see the right moment to engage, you go forward. And trust me when I say this, if anyone masters how to play this build, they will get to Challenger 100%. This build relies on your mastery of how to play, develop your inner sense of pushing forward, but in a fun way. Of course, you can climb to a higher rank with other builds, but this is, in my opinion, a fun build that keeps you looking up. I mean, I kept losing all my games over the weekend, and my only solace and refuge was building these items. We lost this game because Corky baited the team into a skirmish around the blue buff. Everyone died, and I couldn't do much with the headless scorpion. Now to our second game. My OPGG score was excellent, and you would be shocked because this game was horrible in ways you can't even measure. First, if you look at our usual suspects, we had the most obnoxious players you can play against. And it's been a while since I played with Yasuo in the mid lane. Usually, Cassiopeia top lane wins the lane against everyone except tanks or someone that can out-heal her. Still, until now, I've never played against a Cassiopeia top and won, nor played with a Cassiopeia top and saw her lose the lane. In this game, we were playing against Lulu and Jinx. In other words, if we lost the early game and they both claimed the lead, it was already GG. Hence, I decided to gank them first to try to subdue and balance the game odds, or even push them a little bit into our favor. But to my shock, I found out that the communication level with my bot side was not just low, but non-existent. I don't know how the Lulu player killed our support before I showed up to the lane. This was a little bit shocking to me. In this game, it was exactly team disparity, with specificities around support diff. Their support was the best player in the whole game. He performed better than anyone, and it was the Lulu player. I hate this champion with a passion, along with Yuumi and Janna. In general, all enchanters, in my opinion, need to be reworked and changed into mages, removed from the support role. Regardless, this player performed really well. To rescue this game at first, I tried to challenge their jungler around major objectives. Since I am a little bit comfortable with this build, I know that rushing that tiny bit of ability power gives you a huge shield that can trick the enemy's senses in duels. Thinking, well, what will we do with the blasting wand? They would simply blast your face with it. You shouldn't be tricked by names. So rushing that extra ability power gives you a lot of dueling potential as Volibear. I was betting on my top laner Cassiopeia, even though I hate that pick. But it is what it is. You do what you can with whatever you are given at any moment in your life. I was hoping that Cassiopeia would deliver in the mid-game because I know for a fact I am a Vanguard champion. I cannot deal with Lulu. Polymorph is a broken ability. The fact that it is click on target is just unfair. If you can running forward, you are polymorphed. You cannot deal with it. The moment someone is polymorphed, it is like someone from the Uchiha clan is performing genjutsu, and you need others to save you when you are under their illusion. But sadly, no one was there for me. But still, we are not here to complain. We are here to analyze and understand if there was anything else I could have done to win the game. There was one thing that I had in mind to win this exact game, and that was to split push. This game was exactly a split push angle because for them to deal with me, they needed at least Lulu and someone else to stop my push. But in the midst of the chaos and the deaths and their threats to end the game, this idea didn't come to me at the right moment. Now that I have watched the game in detail, I knew that at a certain point, I could have split pushed and ended the game. To understand the difference in our team skill when we took the Herald above. Of course, you will notice a huge play from Lulu. I think that was the play of the game. If Riot manages to add the possibility to see the best play of the game in the future, this play from Lulu was it. She performed a huge 3-man knockup that I think lost us the game. I was fascinated by this play, and it is up to you to see it and decide for yourself. Even after that play, I didn't lose hope. I was still in this game trying to win, even though there was a lot of despair. Someone, I don't know who it was, kept spamming the surrender vote. Later on, we found out it was Thresh, because after the Baron call, he would recall and stay in base. Maybe he couldn't handle the support diff and decided to quit the game or force us to forfeit. But as they always tell you, every game is an opportunity to get better. The moment I started sensing that my team was giving up on me, I said this is the right chance to push my understanding of this build's dueling potential and started seeking individual targets and dueling them, to absorb as much experience as I could. You don't get to play against every jungler in a split. At most, you will only get better and understand how to play against 10 to 15, maybe 20 junglers if you are lucky. At this instance in the game, Thresh was already spamming FF. Since I muted him very early in the game, I only saw my teammates flaming each other. Right when we had only a few seconds to push the wave and get back to defend the base, two of them were caught in our jungle doing God only knows what. That play was the last in this game. Still, I kept trying to get as much dueling experience as possible. With this last fight, our time together has reached its end. Make sure to do the usual. Like the video, leave me a comment about your experience, and subscribe if you are new to the channel. And of course, thanks to all the guys who pointed out that I should be using attack-only champion more. Thanks to you guys, I am a better player, but I'm losing more games because I think I am outperforming my own MMR. Thank you for watching, and as always, take care and peace.